Okay, here we go. It sounds like it's time. Thank you so much for joining us today in this intro webinar, where I'd like to wholeheartedly welcome you to the independent trader movement. So, what are we going to cover in today's webinar? Well, I'd like to explain to you why we created DarwinX and why we think it's a movement worth joining. And then I'll walk you through the beginnings of your evolution with us, and just let you know how to place your first trade and different account options we've got. But more importantly, walk you through the extra elements that we offer to diagnose your evolution and rate your trader DNA. And once you're there, once you've become a trader that's investable, how to get paid for trading either by ourselves, who are the biggest investor in the platform, or third-party investors who are joining the platform by the day. My name is Juan. I'm one of the co-founders and the current CEO of the company. I will be delighted to take any questions that you might have, if those are related to the topic that we're discussing. Then I'll do my very best to discuss. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Yeah, it sounds like we lost the connection for a bit there. Can you confirm that you can hear me okay? All good? Okay, so yeah, I was basically finishing the slide where I explained that I'll walk you through the how to open an account with us, how to start trading with us actually, and how to gradually diagnose your evolution until you get to a point where you hopefully get invested capital and get paid for trading through DarwinX. So, first point, why DarwinX? Well, believe it or not, independent traders are the future of financial evolution because technology lets anyone trade from home, and there's less and less of a point to trade for a financial institution. So, where everybody's seeing lots of retail traders, what we see is the future of the markets. And we're glad that you've joined this movement where more and more people have stopped becoming a passive investor and are on their journey to become a winning, consistent, active trader. And that's what we're here for, to walk along with you on this journey. Now, the good news is that more and more people are doing this, and that obviously the future is theirs. The challenge is that a lot of people are tackling this the wrong way. So the first issue that I'd like to convince you about today is that the business model of trying to make a living from trading by trading your own capital is very unlikely to succeed unless you have a lot of capital and potentially a lot of luck. Would like to convince you today to consider listing your strategy as a new asset on an exchange to get paid a 20% success fee by investors, which is a far healthier way of leveraging your strategy than just going all out for, make it or break it. That will in turn require you to surviving, of course, and making money in the long run will require you to develop a skill set. And we have developed a bunch of diagnostic statistics that help you assess and benchmark yourself against your former self to track your own progress, but also against other people who are making good money in the market and are role examples that you can follow to become a better trader tomorrow. And last but not least, as you probably know by now, trading involves a lot of volume, and as such, there will be transaction costs, and you better consider that before you get going by picking a competitive broker, which we also are. So the combined steps that are here are basically the hurdles we've tried to design functionality to help you overcome. And today, I'd just like to give you a welcome to the ecosystem we've built around these 3 points. Okay, so how does the Darwin Exchange, which is the shorthand for DarwinX, speed your evolution? First, we are a very competitive broker. And when I say broker, I mean a pure broker that never trades against customers. We are always on your side when it comes to facing the market. which is another way of saying your win is our win and your loss is our loss. We have no incentive whatsoever for you to lose money, which is why we've created a legal business model for you to earn from investors, as we'll explain later. There are already quite a bunch of good traders at the platform that could be an example for you to follow, and we'll show you how to try and learn from them. And last but not least, over the last 5 years we have been going, there's been a community of consistent traders that's created around the Darwinex ecosystem, and we encourage you to visit the community section to try and interact with them. So how do you start your evolution with us? Well, as a trader, you'll have to trade an account, as obviously. So we offer several options to engage with us. The first one is, of course, to open an MT4 account, whether live or demo, with our own broker. The demo will allow you to test the conditions to know just how competitive you think we are. The live, in addition to trading your real money, opens the way for participating in our capital allocation and also being open to the diagnostic system and receiving capital from third-party investors. Now, we appreciate it. We may not be your first broker. You may have accounts with other brokers, and you're worried that you might lose your track record by coming over to Darwinex. Well, don't worry about that, because we have the option of linking your existing MT4 account with another broker in a way such that you can migrate that track record, that is, import it to a new Darwinex account, which is the one that allows you to get our own capital allocation or the investor allocations. If you're an algorithmic developer and you'd like to know just how good your backtest is, we offer a free functionality for you to upload any MT4 backtests and receive a grade on them. Just a quick summary of that. You will receive a copy of this presentation, but nonetheless, this describes the different functionalities you can expect from the different account types. As I said, demo lets you get going and test the execution, but it only provides the basic statistics. We do not provide the advanced statistics on anything other than live accounts, because we don't think that playing video games is the same as the real war, really. So that's that. The linked account does enjoy, if it is a live account, enjoy the free service for the diagnostics. So you can get your strategy diagnosed for as long as you want, but you will not be able to earn from either our investment via the Darwinia Challenge or third-party investors, because it takes a Darwinex MT4 account to list a Darwin and get paid the 20% success fee. As I said, you can migrate the accounts in a way such that, for instance, and I can show you a live example. Let me show you, say, what will happen there. Let's say a trader has a track record with a previous broker and then imports that to Darwinex. Well, you'll be able to see that. Sorry, let me get the platform into. Unfortunately, I just did the Spanish webinar, so the whole thing's still stuck in Spanish, but still you can see there's this dot here, which shows that the previous history up until the 6th of June 2014 was with another broker, and thereafter, all the trades here have been live trades with Darwinex. That's what the account migration enables. The backtest, we'll come back to that later, and the live account will just follow the flow of the webinar, because that's where I'll teach you all the things you can do with a Darwinex live account. Now, before that, I'd just like to introduce you to the concept of the wallet, which is how we treat funds at Darwinex. When you wire funds to Darwinex, they are initially made available to you in your wallet. And then from there, you have to choose what you do with them. You can open any number of MT4 accounts, live accounts, and fund those with a movement in the wallet by adding money from the wallet into the MT4 account. If you would like to withdraw that from the MT4 account, then you have to withdraw from the MT4 account back to the wallet and then request a withdrawal. The money that's in the wallet can also be used to invest in other traders. You can create an investor account, fund it, and then start buying and selling traders, like I'll show you later. Okay, just that brief point on the wallet, because it is a bit different from other brokers, and we get quite a few questions on that. Any questions on this so far? Okay, looks like we're doing good. So let's go for the next step in your evolution, which is to diagnose it. So at DarwinX, let's come back to the interface so you can see it. I'll just open another browser where I'm not logged in. Or let's just click on one of the traders here. So let's go for, say, ERQ, just to give you an example. Okay, so we rate all strategies on 12 items. If you want to know what each of these 12 items are, we hold another webinar on the 23rd of August. We'll be explaining all these. But the core point behind this is that all these are designed to tell a lucky trader from a skilled one, in that it takes skill, not luck, to get good grades on this. And these grades, by the way, are irrespective of the results you're making. This is about trading well, with good money management rules, with stable risk, with consistency, with discipline in your stop losses and take profits, and so on. And then we know that whenever you do all those things, which are the combination of what makes a good, consistent trader, the most likely thing is that at the very least you conserve your capital, and if you're skilled in the long run, you will end up making money. And those 12 grades we summarize in a 0 to 100 score, which you can see here, which is the common currency for trader assessment. So this is what we, both us, DarwinX, and also third-party investors use the most to pick where they invest. So hopefully you get a good grade, and eventually tons of investment follow you. We'll see a couple of examples of how that works. Now, those grades are updated at the end of every day, and very soon they will be updated after every trade. And we really encourage you to visit the DarwinX YouTube channel or sign up for the next webinar on the 23rd to get more insights on how they work. Right? Now, just to reassure you that it works, so what we're doing here is that basically we've got a plot of what would have happened if we had invested, say, throughout 2016 in traders with a given score. And you can see that the better the score of the trader, the better the outcome. So as you can see, that skill is the best predictor of future performance. In addition to the webinars and so on, and to just kind of using the platform and seeing how the grades react to your trades, we have a university in the making, which will probably go live by the end of this year, and will hopefully provide you with a pretty good guide on how to improve in the different attributes. Now, in addition to the university, you can of course just go ahead and see for yourself. So you can go to the investable attributes of either yourself or any other traders, and you can see how any of the trades you've done over time, so you know which trades you did at any given point in time, and you can see how those translate into the 0 to 100 score, improving or getting worse. Or you can also see how your grade in any of the given elements went up or down. Okay, so I can see that over time, I've had a certain grade in my D score, a certain D score, which would be white, and I can see my grades in the two investable attributes that I just discussed. And if you put that back with the trades you did, which you know what it is you were doing, that would really help you understand, okay, how does what I do translate into a grade improvement or a grade worsening? And then if you do that and persevere, at some point you get to a point where you are making money, you have good grades, and you're really thinking of solving the peanut problem. I'll explain what that problem is, both from a business model standpoint, but also from a legal standpoint. You should know we've got you covered to distribute to investors. We are the first investor in our traders. At the present point, we invest in excess of 24 million euros into our best traders. And moreover, there's an additional 10 million of third-party investment in the platform, so that totals 35 million who are looking for good talent, and hopefully it's you that can make it down the line. So I'll show you how to understand how much you make from investors depending on your performance, and where you can track that in the platform for going forward. Now, but first we have to talk through the peanut problem, which is the one that hopefully you will not suffer. So the peanut problem is one whereby a trader making 20% per year every year can be constrained to making peanuts by the very fact that he doesn't have enough money to begin with. So if you've got 5 peanuts and you're trading for a 20% profit every year, that's great, because 20% profit is amazing if you achieve that consistently. But unfortunately, if you're trading from insufficient capital, you will never be able to make a living from it. Unfortunately, lots of people face trading as a challenge where you have to multiply 5 peanuts into a million. And unfortunately, that challenge is impossible to overcome, because the most likely thing is you'll take too much risk, and at some point you'll blow up and lose all your money. So, and the important thing there is that it doesn't really matter how well you do, because if you're constrained by the initial capital, you never get there. Now, compare that with somebody making the very same 20% return per year, investing, instead of just his own 5 peanuts, having 10 million of investor allocation allocated to him. And there the numbers really change, because if you have 10 million of invested capital, grow that by 20% per year, which is growing the capital from 10 to 12 million, and you collect a 20% success fee on the 2 million that you've made them, then you're making 400K a year, and that is a completely different proposition to peanut. Now, note that nothing has changed other than the fact that instead of making 20% on peanuts, you're making 20% on 10 million, and that is the only sustainable source of leverage. Okay, I really encourage you to watch this video here, where we've run some numbers to make you realize that the way to make a living from trading is not to make 100% per year on your capital. That is impossible and will end up with you blowing up. The way to live from your trading is to try and make 20% every year and convince investors to put money down with them. Now, on that note, you're covered by us, because we are an FCA-regulated asset manager that sells your strategies to investors with our own permission, so that you don't have to become an FCA-regulated asset manager, which is something both difficult to achieve, expensive to get through to, and expensive to maintain. What we've done is a business model where you've got a hedge fund in a box, so to say, to collect 20% success fee from investors, just like the guy here, from day one, without having to set up your own asset manager. I don't know if you have any questions on that, because that's actually an important point there. And here's the next thing. So not only do we give you the legal cover to get investors, we're actually the first investor in you. So let's just go back to the platform. We have a monthly tournament called Darwinia. Where every month we allocate 4 million euros to the top 48 strategies that you can see here, starting with $300,000 for the first, and so on and so forth. So let's say this guy, for instance, is going to receive, if he continues at this pace, an additional $150,000 to the $320,000 he's already got. That allocation is held on to for 6 months. And whatever profits you achieve in those 6 months on our capital, 20% of that is for you. It's like we are your first investor. I'd encourage you to just walk through the platform, because there are people already who are managing quite a bit of capital. So let's say there's a couple of guys already who have reached very recently the 1 million of capital threshold. Show you. And this is only after, sorry, LVS, 1 year of the exchange being open. So just walk you briefly through the numbers. So this guy's got 400,000 euros of capital invested from Darwinex, plus an additional 650,000 from third-party investors for a total of 1 million. Now let's do the numbers. So you make 31% so far this year on 1 million. You charge 20% of 30% is about 6% of 1 million. So this trader has earned $60,000 at the current run rate from investors. And that is, okay, well, it's not enough to buy a Ferrari yet, but it's grown quite a bit. And it shows you that it is possible by achieving something. Well, in this case, he's doing better than 20% a year for now, but it's numbers that are not crazily high. So we're not talking about achieving 200% per year or anything. This is about investing money wisely and recouping the returns afterwards. The current run rate of profits paid out to traders has hit about 70 to 80K a month. So the success fees to traders have hit now 60 to 70,000. So nothing would please us more than to see you guys with a score of 85, topping the investor leaderboard, making good money for yourselves and also for our investors. That's what we're about. And once you get to that point, you will see that we disclose all the revenues transparently. So there's a section called Trader Income with a slash performance fees, where you can track who has invested in you, at what price, and you can also check what is the P&L you can expect if they reach a certain threshold. So that's where you'll find the success fees paid to you. By the way, DWX Investing is the user that tracks you with the Darwinia tournament, and there's another one called Darwinex Labs, which is our own proprietary arm investing in the traders, in addition to all the third-party investors you'll be able to see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, this was a short intro webinar to hopefully show you what this is about. Very much welcome to the independent trader movement. We'd love to be your bridge to investor capital and to meet your expectations as a good broker. At any point in time, if you have any questions, you can always click here in the interface, and our support team will be delighted to help. But if you have any questions right now, happy to take them and gather your feedback. Before you go, you should know that we have a pretty active YouTube channel where we upload stuff every week, and we explain lots of things around the movement. We publish in our blog that you can Google on Darwinex blog. We have a Twitter account with more than 10,000 followers where you can also interact with lots of other members of the community. And last but not least, there's Facebook where people provide us with feedback. And this is important to this movement because we are a pure broker and we do not invest in the traders. We hardly advertise compared to others, so we actually rely very strongly on word of mouth for customer acquisition. So if any of what you saw today you think is interesting for any of your friends, I think both ourselves and your friends will be grateful for it. And last but not least, so will you, because the more traders there are in the platform, the more investors will join. And the more investors there are, the more interesting the whole proposition becomes to everybody. So that's what makes us all a movement. We need each other to get to the next place. So, if you like this, hopefully you'll share it. Having said that, if there are any questions, I'd be delighted to take them now. It seems as though you're a quiet bunch. So if you're feeling a bit shy about doing them, no worries. You can always email us at info@darwinex.com, and we'll be happy to take them there. Okay, so if there's no questions, I will be closing the webinar shortly. You should also know that this webinar will be recurring, so we plan to run this every week. So if there's any questions, if you join late, you can always join next week. Also, on the 23rd, there's one planned to explain the trader and investor platform. Hopefully, you'll like that too. And yeah, it sounds as though we're done here. It's been a real pleasure. Oh, there we go. So Brian's asked, how long does it take to achieve the required D score? Right. So the first point is there is no required D score. You can list a Darwin with any kind of score that we don't really filter. Having said that, it does take time until you have a D-score in the first place. So if you start from scratch, depending on your trading style, so if you're more of a swing trader, it could take kind of up to 4 or 5 months. If you're more of a frequent trader, within a couple of months, you should start getting your first D-score, and thereafter, you will have low experience, but you will already be receiving your grades in the different attributes. Does that answer the question, Brian? Okay, great. It's a good point. I should have mentioned that. But the one point to mention there is we are an exchange. We don't really tell people what D-score people should invest in or whatever. This is for investors to figure out for themselves. What we do, of course, is rate the strategy so that people know what they're buying, and we reserve the right to not issue a score until we have enough information. That's why it takes a bit of time until you get your first D-score. So you're asking, the question is whether we provide VPS services for fully auto traders, and the answer is we don't ourselves, but Beeks is cross-connected to us. So Beeks FX, I'll respond to this. Offers the cross-connect to us. So there's lots of algorithmic traders who are cross-connected through a Beeks virtual server. So yes, it covered there. Okay. Any more questions or any feedback? I mean, how did you guys? Can I ask how did you guys hear about us as a broker? What did you first hear about us? That's something that's really interesting to see, whether it's word of mouth or say MyFX book. Oh, 50 pips. Okay, now 50 is a good friend of ours. Great. That's basically how we grow. I mean, we have some trading educators who understand the system and recommend it to their students. There's quite a bit of word of mouth, and then we also have the blog, which catches quite a bit of traffic. Okay. Looks like it was Brian who had the questions. No one else. Any of the other guys? No. Okay, well, it looks like we're done, guys. So thank you so much for attending the webinar. You'll receive a recording, so hopefully if there's anything that was unclear, you can hear it again, or else we repeat this every week. And again, on the 23rd of August, there's the next session explaining the individual attributes. Okay, so thank you so much. Take care. I wish you a great summer, and I hope to see you topping the leaderboard very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.